Hey, Shalom. I'm going to start off by giving all praises, all glories, and all honors unto Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Akakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of the Church of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the sincere and hopeful elect. This Kodash Payah in this lesson, I seen this article popped up earlier, and it says the military jab deadline clash begins with troops who refuse the jump shot, right? It says, Tuesday marked the military's first deadline for all Air Force and Space Force troops to receive the venom, the jab. Following months of patience, the punishments now begin. So this is November the 2nd, 2021. And, the deadline was yesterday. And so now they're saying that there's going to be repercussions to these troops for not complying, right? Whether it be your Navy, Air Force, foot soldiers, whatever. And a lot of these troops, America's troops, aka Babylon, Rome, coming in that spirit, they have families over here. They've been in the military for years, veterans, that all of a sudden has been fired, or if not, discharged. They call it honorable discharge. And so this is showing the rest of the world how weak America's becoming, because that's the teeth, right? The teeth referring to the troops, right? That's their walls, their protection, and this whole scandemic is showing the division, right, amongst themselves, because even Rome was collapsing from the inside out, and scriptures speak about a house being divided. It's not going to stand, right? So, let me read a little bit. Salakia. It says here, the next paragraph, the Air Force has discharged 40 service members and is now preparing to address the thousands of others who failed to get a jump shot before the November 1st deadline officials imposed, becoming the first branch to execute what military leaders consider an essential protective measure, but one that critics believe will undermine America's ability to defend itself. Right? So, there you go, man. So, the rest of the world is seeing and laughing. America's becoming a laughingstock. Because it was once one of the strongest superpowers. And even its own allies is turning their back. So it's all through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, because he's setting up, the stages for World War III. This is the book of Daniel, and I'm going to get this real swift, right? But this is the book of Daniel, chapter 2, and I'm going to start at verse 38. And wheresoever the children of men dwell, the beasts of the field and the fowls of the heaven have he given into thine hand, and have made the ruler over them all. Thou art his head of gold. And after thee shall arise another kingdom inferior to thee, and another third kingdom of brass, which shall bear rule over all the earth. Alright, so just to get a quick depiction, Daniel, through his vision, this is what he saw, right? So he was going down from the head down to the feet. The gold, the silver, the brass. The gold was the Babylonians, the silver was the Medo-Persians. Right? It tells you the dates. The bear, right? Russia. The brass, which was the Grecian Empire. The iron was the Roman Empire. And it tells you that in Daniel, also Daniel the 7th chapter, also in the 7th verse. But we're going to read on. It says, and one more, the iron and clay, which is the divided kingdoms, which is what? NATO. Right? 10 toes, 10 horns. Anyway, I just wanted to get to the point where how America's being weaker. Right? So it says, verse 40, and the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron, for as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdue all things, and as iron that breaketh all these shall it break in pieces and bruise. So we know that during the time, the highest of the Roman army, Roman, period, right? They had these weapons. They had the daggers, spears, the iron shields, and also one of those weapons. I forget the name of it, but it has like an iron. It looks like a tooth at the peak of it, at the end of it. You could kill your opponent from a distance, right? So when it speaks about teeth, iron teeth, that's going into the weapons, because when you read of the beast, the NATO, what's a beast without his teeth? What's a lion without his teeth? What's a dog without his teeth? It's non-threatening. You see, so you become weak, right? So it says, and whereas thou sawest the feet and toes part of pottered clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it of the strength of the iron, for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay, and as the toes of the feet were part iron and part of clay, the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. And we know when Yahushua come back during World War III with the holy angels, he's going to destroy America, aka Babylon the Great, and whatever allies, right? And whatever allies. So this is Isaiah chapter 14 verse 10. It says, all they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? Right? So these are the other nations, questioning, like, yo, America, aka Babylon the Great, even because you have America takes part of that same spirit. If you understand reincarnation, Rome, Greece, right? Ancient Babylon, Egypt, and they were powerful at their time. You know what I mean? So now they're in their highest, well, now they're falling, but America was that great superpower that everyone looked to. Now they're seeing its weakness. They're seeing the shame of it. Her skirt is being lifted, pursuing Isaiah the 47th chapter, meaning what? These other nations, the kings of the earth, are seeing America's shame, seeing what they've been doing in secret, their agendas, their lies, and also with this whole scandemic, because it's a global thing, putting it on the forces, and now their military forces is departing from it. The law enforcements are departing from that because they're not submitting, right? So that's why, America, even with NATO, so you're seeing a division within itself. A house being divided shall not stand, as the scriptures say. And there was also another, I believe it was an article where there was so-called UFOs, right, which disassembled, I believe it was like 8 missiles or whatever. Now I'm not sure how accurate that is, but it goes to show you how it's the Lord that's in control and setting up, World War III, in over there in the Middle East. So this is real quick. Let me see. Oh, the book of Psalms chapter 58 verse 6. Break their teeth, O God, in their mouth. Break out the great teeth of the young lions. And just wanted to get this word quick here.
Strong's H8127. Shane.
Right, it says tooth, beast, ivory, as material of sharp pointed rock. Right? Anyway, Salakia about that. I know in Daniel chapter 7 and around about the 9th verse, it speaks about the iron teeth. Anyway, so they're being, U.S. military showing weakness, man. America is showing how weak they are, actually. That's why the scriptures say what? Matter of fact, let's get that. Alright, so we're going to finish off with Isaiah chapter 14 and 15. It says, yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee, and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms, that made the world as a wilderness, and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the houses of his prisoners, right? So the other nations, like, yo, you know, this is the people that made the earth to tremble, because they can, you know, these elites in America, they're being seen for who they truly are, man, right? That opened not the houses for the prisoner, of his prisoners. All the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, everyone in his own house. But thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch, and as the raiment of those that are slain, thrust throughout with a sword, that go down to the stones of the pit, as a carcass trodden under feet. Damn. Thou shalt not be joined with them. Alright, so shall never be renowned, prepare slaughter. Alright, so I got the point that I wanted to make. So, you know, this place is definitely going down. This is why the scriptures say, let the weak say I am strong, because these other nations were once weaker than America, right? But now, throughout time, you know, they've gotten stronger with deals, training, you know, because we're in a time of war. You know, and the Lord is putting the spirit in these other nations and kings. You know, that's why there's a lot of conflict going on, and talks of global war with, you know, if I didn't mention it, I'll mention it again, with America and China. You know, China with the friction with Taiwan, and America's allies. You know what I'm saying? They're relying on them for defense. You know, and the friction between Russia and Ukraine, also Iran and Israel, right? So it's you know, there's a lot of conflict going on. You know, things are being set up, man. And the scriptures speak about how America, aka Babylon, will be destroyed in an hour. So who's gonna defend them and those that love America, aka Babylon, Rome, Greece, Egypt, all over again, in that same spirit. Alright, so these troops, man, they're like, yo, F this, we ain't fighting for them no more. You know? So I just wanted to make a quick video on that, through the spirit. You know? So with that, shalom.